conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Hi everyone. Welcome to SAP S4 HANA SD certification training. So today in the course S4615, billing in SAP S4 HANA sales. So in this course, today we are covering this topic, special billing types. This is the one, unit 4, special billing types. Okay. Special billing types. So in this, the topics that we are going to cover, they are billing types in complaints processing. Okay, cancellation, how to do invoice cancellation, we'll see. Then credit and debit memos. Okay, what is credit memo, what is debit memo, how they are created, we'll see. Then workflow of credit memo request. Okay, we will see. Then invoice correction request, how to do invoice correction request, how it is done, we'll see. How to handle quantity and price differences, we will see. And then finally we will see pro forma invoice. What is pro forma invoice, what its use, when it is created, how it is different from a normal invoice. So those things we will understand. So these are the topics we'll be covering today. Okay, so first we'll start with cancellation. Okay, so what is cancellation, we will understand. Invoice cancellation. Okay, to cancel a billing document, you must create a cancellation document. Suppose you, normal our scenario, you create a sales order. Use after the sales order, you create outbound delivery, and then once the goods are delivered, you create an invoice. Okay, billing document, invoice. Then you realized that you created the invoice wrongly, the price problem or some other problem. So you created a wrong invoice. So now you want to cancel this invoice. Cancel this invoice. So for that you will go for cancellation of the invoice. Okay. So let's understand some theory. So when you do cancellation, the system copies the data from the reference document into the cancellation and offsets the entry in accounting. Okay. When you cancel a document, you branch to an overview screen containing the original billing document as well as the cancellation billing document. Okay. So now we will see this in the system, how to do cancellation. Okay. So let me create first a sales order. I'll quickly create a sales order. Okay. With our standard OR. Okay. Continue. Okay. I'll directly do the delivery. Okay. Go to picking. Enter the quantity. Okay, now I'll do the post goods issue. Okay, done. Now let's go to display. I'll directly do the what do you call uh, billing, VF01. Okay, I'm doing the billing. Okay, done. Billing is okay. Now I'm saving it. Okay, so I have completed up to this step. This step, we created the order, outbound delivery, PGI, and I created an invoice. Then later on you realize it that invoice is created wrongly due to some XYZ reasons. I want to cancel the invoice. So before cancellation, suppose let's go to our document flow. I'll go to sales order first directly, slash NVA03. I'll go to the sales order. This is a sales order. Enter, go to document flow. If you go to document flow, okay, so we created order, outbound delivery, PGI done, and we created invoice. So, but before canceling the invoice, I'll go to the outbound delivery document. So if you go to outbound delivery document, what will be the status? If I go to the header, if I go to header, if I go to processing, what is the status now here? Billing document fully invoiced. Fully invoiced. So now when I cancel it, the status will get reset. The status will get reset. So now we will proceed with the cancellation. So now we are doing the cancellation, this activity, cancellation. Okay. So when you cancel a billing document, you branch to an overview screen containing the original billing document as well as the cancellation billing document. So let's cancel it. Okay, I'll open another session. The T code is VF11. T code is VF11. Okay, this is the original billing document. Okay, using this you have to cancel. Just click on enter. Okay, now you see it is showing two documents, original invoice document and also invoice cancellation document. That's what it will branch to, that one. That's what it says. Okay, so now we are basically canceling it. Now save it. So original invoice got cancelled. Okay, now if you go to the workflow, if you go to your workflow, okay, let's go to the workflow. I'll go to the sales order. I'll go to the sales order. Again, I'll go to the workflow. See, now the invoice cancellation also it is showing here. Okay, it is completed. Okay, now but before that, if I go to the outbound delivery document, again, display outbound delivery document, I'll go to header. Okay, and now what do you see? Against the status got reset, not invoiced. See, the status got reset. That's what happens when you canceled a billing document. Okay, now the reference document of the billing document, for example, the delivery for the cancelled invoice can now be billed again. So already created billing document, we cancelled it. So now again you can rebill. You can do the rebilling, this one. So we created first invoice, we cancelled it. It resets the billing status in the outbound delivery. Now again you can do the invoicing again with the correct prices or whatever may be. Okay, so now we'll try to do the billing again. Okay, so now again go to normal billing transaction, VF01. VF01, enter your original billing outbound delivery. What is outbound delivery? This one, 80005151. 80005151. Enter. Enter. So again you are doing billing. It is allowing. Save it. Again we have done the billing. Now if you go to your document flow, again if you go to document flow, VA03. Okay, go to document flow. See, again you can see the invoice. This is the original invoice created. It is cancelled. This is the cancelled invoice document number. And again we have done the re-invoicing again. You see, this is the one. So like this, you can do basically invoice cancellation. This is the invoice cancellation process. Okay, so let's continue. Next one is credit and debit memos. So what is this credit and debit memos? Okay, you can create credit and debit memos either with reference to the credit or debit memo request, sales documents, or if your company doesn't require a release procedure in case of complaints, then directly with reference to a billing document. Suppose here you see, suppose you create a sales order. Okay, then you did the outbound, you create outbound delivery. Okay, then you delivered the goods to the customer. After that you create the billing document and you send the invoice to the customer. Okay, now the customer says this is your company. Then the customer says he received the material but he says goods are damaged. Okay, let's say you send him 10 goods. He says out of 10 2 got damaged. Okay, then he says you return my money. So in that case you have two options. Either in your company, if you have release procedure, then you create a credit memo request and then you release it. Using that you create a credit memo. Or if you don't need any release procedure, if you don't have any release function in your company, then you can create a credit memo directly with reference to the billing document. Billing or credit memo or debit memo. Or if you want money extra from the customer, you go for a debit memo. So what you need to understand here is there are two methods of creating the credit memo, either directly from the billing document, or second method is you create a credit memo request, you have the release,